I'm fine, thank you. Just here, getting ready to start the video for the third module of negotiation and contracts. Although this first video is going to be only negotiations, and the second one will be about contracts.
Okay, this is the first lesson of this module, right?
Yes.
All right, very exciting. Let's do it.
The objective of this video, David, it'll be to teach effective techniques for negotiating prices and terms with suppliers. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, great. First, the content will be like preparation, conduct through research on market prices to understand industry standards, wholesale price and retail price, and then you define your budget and establish clear limits to guide negotiations.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. So it's kind of like one of the red flags thing where it's like conduct the research on market prices. Like you should find out what's the average price for your goods that
Well,
you're looking
yes,
to
but
buy.
in this case will be to have some tools or weapons to negotiate with suppliers.
Okay. Like what kind of weapons?
For instance, if you know the price, for instance, you know the price. You already research. You know the prices that are there in the market, which I might call it like a price for reference.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
that
I
is
get it.
why, yeah, that is why it's important to know which price. Another one is like any buyers from overseas, they only think like, well, if this is produced in China, it's got to be super cheap or almost, it should be almost free because it's from China, right? And then we go into a problem that you end up buying something that is not of quality, that is very bad quality, and or you will ask for a price that the supplier will tell you that price is impossible. We cannot do it. So that is why it's important to research, on the market prices of the item that you want to buy.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so you can have a good understanding of like what's the realistic price and then also what's the quality you'll be getting at different prices.
Exactly, exactly. Any comment or about that?
No, I think I understand it well.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it is important to negotiate before actually you buy anything, from a supplier or talk to a supplier. Use from different suppliers from the same product. This will
Yeah,
let
no,
you
it makes sense.
understand, the range of prices, and also will give you a better perspective and an understanding of the price, that because it's not very good to which I might call it, to push the suppliers to the max, for them to go as low as possible. They will not let you go. They want to, as long as you make money, a little bit. It's better to do something than nothing, right? But also, it's not good like when you are losing, in the middle. So that is why it's better to investigate and research.
Yeah, there's a balance, I guess. And if it goes so low, then maybe the supplier won't like be as friendly to you and won't help you as much, and there could be some other problems.
Exactly. Now we have the next one is to define your budget and establish clear limits to guide negotiations. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I guess it's like what you just talked about. Like, you should figure out like your bottom line price and the most expensive. Like you should figure out like what's the most you're willing to pay, and then what would be like the best price you could get without it being like terrible quality. And then decide like based on your budget and how much other costs you're gonna have, what's your ideal price, and maybe you can even tell the supplier that, and tell them like, listen, I have these other costs. I need to pay for transport. I need to pay for like warehousing and all this stuff. So at this price, I won't make any money. So I won't be able to buy it at this price, and that's just the reality. And yeah, if you have a budget and you know the numbers really well, you can be able to negotiate with a lot more confidence, I think, right?
Yeah, it is important to set up a budget before beginning any negotiation. You need to know how much money are you willing to spend. Give good use to that money, that you have arranged for that expense or for that project.
Yeah, I understand. That makes sense. Really
Sometimes
important.
when in an item, for instance, you want to buy something and that could have some extra gadgets or extra things, but it will cost extra money, also, that you end up buying something that in the beginning the supplier told you was going to cost you $1, and then end up costing 150. You need to be also very clear on this one, so you are not into unfavorable agreements.
Yeah.
If you set up the budget good and set up the limits. You know how much you want to spend and how much you will let this supplier improve or change or modify the items that he's selling to you, or the price. Um, will give you a solid foundation to negotiate confidently, and to tell him, like, to know exactly where to stop him, and how many or how much money are you willing to spend, you know, and maybe that will help you to have a better deal.
Okay, that makes
Uh,
sense. I totally agree. Yeah, the budget is gonna just make you more confident, and if you need, if you know the numbers, then you can just talk to the supplier like with a lot more confidence, and just he'll know that you know the numbers.
exactly. That you
And
did.
yeah,
He will know. Just when by talking to you, he will know that you are that you did your homework. You have everything checked, and you have facts, you know, to negotiate, not only words, you know.
yeah, it's a big difference.
Exactly, and he will actually, you will see you in a better way. I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay, then the next one will be like techniques that you will use to negotiate, you know, like to request the volume discounts to reduce costs on bulk, or like we can call it by container or wholesale orders, not small amounts. Use this, yeah, like if you are negotiating with a supplier, the more you buy, the chances for you to get a better price are higher, you know?
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Okay. So maybe you start off, even if you are planning to buy a lot, you start off the negotiation just acting like you're going to only buy a small quantity. And then you negotiate down the price at that small quantity. And then you say, okay, well, what about if I buy a lot? Can you give even more discount?
For
Is that,
instance, if you start like negotiating with him and you tell him, I will only buy 100 pieces, right?
yeah.
Then he will give you a price, and he will tell you, no, the price is he's making a profit only of 10 cents. I'm making 10 cents per piece. You know, I'm giving you the lowest price that I have, and there is almost no room for me to lower the price more, right? But he's selling you 100 pieces, right?
Yeah.
So 10 cents times 100 pieces, you check is, well, you're making a total of $10, right?
Yep.
Then you say, why don't we find a way where everybody wins? After, well, of course, after the negotiation gets into which a better stage or deeper stage, then you tell him, you know what if I buy to you 10,000 pieces? How can you modify the price? You know, and instead of if he was giving you $1 per piece, if you bought 100, right, and he was telling you that he was making 10 cents, right? Now you say, well, now I will buy 10,000 pieces. If I buy 10,000 pieces, which price can you give me? And then you calculate the money that he was supposed to be making. If you buy 10, it's not the same profit, you know. Of course, the more I buy, the bigger the profit, you know, as long as you don't struggle him on the price that much, you know.
Right. And then you save more and he makes more. It's kind of a win-win situation.
Exactly. You to find a ground where everybody wins, right?
Okay. I like that. If you're able to buy in bulk, and maybe you should start the negotiation from like as though you're only going to buy a few, and try to negotiate down from there. And then once you're at the bottom price from the low quantity, then you can bring up the quantity and get an even lower price rather than just start at the high quantity.
Yes, but also remember that just to get there, before you got here, you were already talking about the price, about the best price, and to lower the price. When you got to this point, he already had gave you the lowest price that he supposedly said, right? And he was telling you that he was only making 10 cents of a dollar per piece, right?
Yeah.
Because when you start all this negotiation with him with research. You already knew. You gave him a target price. You told him the price that you wanted. Maybe he didn't agree or something. It was back and forth negotiating, and then finally he gave you a price $1, and then you wanted to get more, and he said no because I'm only making 10 cents, per piece. Then you say okay, but I will not buy 100. Now I was thinking that maybe I can find a way to put some money together, and I will make it to buy 10,000, pieces, and
Yeah.
then you make numbers and you say okay, now we can share the profit. I mean, I want to win, and I will buy more. I will sacrifice myself. We'll gather the money, and I will buy 10,000 pieces, and then we can find a way to lower the price. So you will make a little bit more. I will also get a better price.
Yeah, I like that.
That is one way to make them, or to push them to lower the price. But of course, you always have to make sure that you just it's not only you win, or the buyer wins. It should be find a way to close a deal where nobody lose, because or nobody's even. If no somebody's working but working for free, it's not losing money but it's not making money. Then maybe that business will not last very long. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Even like in businesses, like I think they always say it's like the most successful businesses are the ones that provide value to people. So it's like, and provide value to their suppliers and everything. So yeah, probably you don't always have to just like beat everyone and just like take advantage of everyone. Probably it's best just to make your suppliers happy, make your consumers happy, and that's the best way.
Yes, exactly. And that is a way to get this negotiation, to that point, and you will have actually facts to show him, that he cannot say that, oh, 10 cents. No, you are making 10 cents, but it was only 100. Now I'm buying 10,000, and clearly you're going to be making more. So, and also you can also tell him like, well, maybe we can make an agreement, write down a contract where we're gonna establish a corporation for 5 years. At least 5 years. I
Oh,
will buy in this much volume from you, or at least every 2 months the same amount, and then you will try as much as you can to keep the price. And I will only buy from you and things like that. But finding a way to establish a closer and a long-term relationship with a supplier, to encourage him to agree on the price that you are looking for, right?
that's very interesting. Yeah, they're signing the agreement, the long-term kind of agreement. Because yeah, it's kind of like the same strategy as buying in bulk. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's like a different way where you're instead of saying, "Yeah, I'll buy 10,000," it's like, "Oh, I'll buy 1,000,000 units over the next 5 years." So then you can get a very big discount, and also they're happy. The supplier will be happy because they know they're gonna have some money coming in for the next 5 years. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Another could be as important also to negotiate favorable payment terms. We were talking about this, that more common payment terms in China is 30 upfront, 70% on documents, BL copy, right?
Yes.
You can probably tell them, okay, I will give you the 30% here and the 70% until the goods arrive to the port in Canada, or to my warehouse. Maybe they will not agree that much, but there's going to be a negotiation, and you will end up paying 20% upfront, to place the order, 30% on the port of origin and here in China, and another 30% when arrives to the Canadian port, and the last 20% until it arrives to your warehouse. Could be used. Uh, Find a way to negotiate it, but maybe it will end up like that if that is what you're looking for in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, it all depends on your cash flow situation, I guess. But yeah.
No, but to negotiate, it doesn't mean that he will accept like favorable payment terms, right? It's 30% upfront and 70% until you get the goods in your warehouse. But maybe this will not be accepted, but has to be negotiated. You start with that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I know what you're saying. And even you can use it like you can use the payment terms as a way to get more discount. Like, oh, well, you know what, if you can give me a bigger discount, then I'll be able to pay 70% upfront for something if that's okay with you. But it's another way,
But
right?
the thing is that if you have to be careful, that is why you have to do your research, not to struggle or not to push him down or press him too much with the price to get it too low. Because many, not some, but many or most of the suppliers or many suppliers, no, some of them will say no, we cannot take it. But some of them will say, okay, I lower the price as you want, but then they will change the raw material to give you something of lower quality. You know what I'm saying? And then by getting so low, too lower prices, then you are jeopardizing the quality of the goods. You know, or putting in risk the quality of the goods.
Okay. So okay, yeah, because I always think about it like, okay, well, I just want to get the lowest price I can and negotiate with them to get the lowest price I can. But no, that's not good. That's not good.
No, you actually can get the lower price, but the real lower price, you know, that is
Hmm.
why you have to do the research. You need to check the market. What's the price in the market? You know, you can make a reverse price, you know, price, and you calculate, okay, this price here in China, in Canada. Go to the, for instance, to the store and find an item and check how much is the price of this item. $10, 10 Canadian dollars. Okay. So, you calculate this store is making how much profit, let's say 25%. You just calculate like that, 25%. Then how much it pays in taxes. You go back, and you can land the price here in China. You know, maybe it's not the real price. It's only something that you calculated. Then you check in the market. You know, you just go back on the price. You know, break it down on the way back to see how much it was actually paid, or what was actually the price of that item here in China. If you think, well, this store must buy it, or probably bought it, is this store cannot import. For sure, they are not doing the import, right? So then there is another company that did it before, right? This other company also is making at least 25%. So you got 25 is 50%. Now, how much it pays in taxes and import for to get it into Canada in customs? Also, go back on this one. And then how much was the freight from Canada to China? This much. So deduct all
Hmm.
that from the prices. You do it in full container, you know, calculate one full container load. And then you will land the price of that item here in China. It's not exact, but it will help you because you will research the market and find other prices. You understand?
Yeah, I get it. And then the price you get should be something around that. If it's way too cheap, then it goes back to the red flags
Exactly.
from the other module.
Exactly. You need to get a price that is around the price that you landed, right? That you actually came up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that is important also. But we actually we went back on the other one. So this was to get a discount or reduce the price if you buy wholesale orders or in bulk or large amounts, right? Or full container. We can call it a full container. You know, LCL, full containers load. You will say how much you want. They will ask you, okay, what's your quantity? You will start with a little quantity, and then you will say, you know what, I will put the money and we will buy you a full container, but I need you to give me a better price. If you give me for 100 pieces, you are giving me this price. Now I need this price, you know,
Yeah.
so you can probably get a better price. Understand that one?
Yeah, I got it. I
Okay.
get it.
And the payment terms, again, we did again that one. Huh? Payment terms is like I said, 30% upfront, 70% reception of the goods is to negotiate. You know, maybe he will not agree, but you have to find a way to get it to where you want. Maybe, like I said, at least 30 and 70 after the bill copy. You know, that is the most popular here in China.
Right. Got it.
The next one, other technique to get
We also
or
talked about
to
this one.
sorry,
We also talked about this one. The offer long-term commitments or exclusive agreements.
yeah, we already talked about this one, right?
Yeah.
Also to encourage him to get better prices, right? And to feel confident to work with you. The other one, communication, is important. Like we already talked in the last video, remember?
Yeah, about trusting the other. About it's like it's also a red flag, but um, yeah, you should pay attention to how the supplier communicates and like if it's timely, if it's professional, and then so it's also important for you to do that as the buyer. Same thing. I guess. Balance assertiveness with flexibility to foster a cooperative relationship. Yeah, that's like, I guess, not even just in business, but in all relationships, like in your work and like friendships with your family and everything. Like, you should have boundaries, but also be flexible to those people. Okay, yeah.
Yes. If you're planning to work with a supplier for a long time, you can offer, an agreement like I just said it, right? Make an offer, an agreement, make a contract. Say, I'm gonna be working and buying from you for uh, 5 years, but before you do this that I'm telling you is because you already did research. It's not the only possible supplier or nothing. You already researched, you already selected, filtered suppliers, to the one that you want to be working with. And then when you get to this point, you offer, agreement to buy, to put it on paper, I will buy from you for 5 years, and I will not change to other supplier. And I want to build a relationship where with confidence and where everybody will win, and all these things will help you to get better prices, and he will give you a priority. You will be a priority for him to supply. If he has some other clients that are buying from him, but not he doesn't have an agreement with them, and they are like they can change anytime, but you are already building this long-term agreement, and you have it on paper, you have a contract and everything. Maybe he will give you priority in times where the production is low or something, He will say, okay, I cannot produce that much for other suppliers, but I will guarantee your production. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
get it.
He will try to keep the prices for you also,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. And this I came up with an idea, which I don't think we can do it right now because it would take us very long. But it's an idea to engage in a role playing exercise, simulating a negotiation scenario where with a supplier and a buyer,
Okay.
But I think it's very interesting to do it,
Okay. Well, if we don't have enough time today, maybe we can do it in the next week.
Okay, that'll be good. Yes, we have to prepare everything. Imagine that I'm gonna be your supplier.
Okay, and I'll be the buyer.
Exactly. You're gonna be the buyer. And let's continue, and I will explain to you the roles. Well, actually,
Okay.
you can read the roles here. Is what I came up with, and we can prepare for this next week. The buyer, of course, represents a company looking to purchase bulk goods at a competitive price. And the supplier, which is me, will be representing the vendor offering the product, aiming to maintain profitability while securing a long-term client.
All right.
These are going to be the steps of the
Oh, wow.
scenario.
Okay.
I will give you this information for you to prepare for next week.
Okay, sure. Will we do a specific product?
We can do the ones that you are thinking about, like which one I call it, the charger, the station.
Charger stations, yeah. Portable battery stations.
Yes, the introduction will be like we meet each other, maybe the first email or how we gonna introduce each other. Then find the time for discussion. Then we're gonna start with price negotiation. The buyer, which is it's gonna be you, will request a volume discount, citing market research and potential for future orders. The payment terms will also have to talk or negotiate about the payment terms, the ones that you need and the ones that I can offer. Also, you will offer this long-term agreement, trying to calm me down and trying to get me to accept your terms.
Okay, there's a lot about this role play situation.
It's a lot, right?
Okay, if you can just send it to me, then I'll review it. I'll make sure I study it and prepare.
Yeah, I will send to you. Yes. And this is the advanced scenario. This is the basic scenario, only asking for the 10%. Then you have the advanced scenario, handling objections. The supplier argues that they cannot lower the price and due to increased production cost. And then it's normal, they always say that. The buyer must counter with alternative solutions, such as higher order, like I was just explaining to you, and better payment terms or long-term contracts. That one is a very tough negotiation exercise, which could be like the supplier offers a price that is above the buyer's budget. Like you are planning that for you to be a good business for this battery charger station, the price of the each station should be at maximum $300, right? But then I gave you a price of $500, and it's like it's not the way you can do it, right?
Yeah, it's way beyond 10%.
Then you should use multiple negotiation techniques, benchmarking and value discounts, long-term agreements, or anything that comes to your head, right? These are the techniques. This one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember.
Okay, and then you need to use anything that comes to your head, or that you think you can use to get it to get me to accept or to lower the price. But it's good, or it is important that anything you do or whatever you do is based on facts, based on your research and the things that you will do, you know?
Yeah, I'll make sure to do some research this week for it and find some prices.
Because you need to be prepared, because you need to give me valid arguments. Remember, I'm a factory, I produce this, I also know the market, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, not for real, but it's an fictitious scenario, you know?
Yep.
Okay, and this is
Oh, wow.
an example of to start, like an email. This is my email. Maybe you have a better idea of how to write an email for for a supplier. You know, you can change. Maybe, I don't know, instead of a full container load, maybe you can say a few hundred pieces. Depends which technique are you willing to use, you know, or you want to use.
Yeah, 5,000 units would probably be a lot for the battery charger units.
How many units can be in one container?
Well, definitely not 5,000 because they're pretty big. Like, you know, those Meituan, like the yellow box things. I think there's no way you can fit 5,000. Maybe you can't even fit like 100. I don't know.
In one container?
Like the containers are like those like metal
Yes,
box.
yes, but different sizes. One is like a 20 feet container, dry 20 feet container is 28 cubic meters. Then there's another 40 feet containers. It's like 50 something, 58.
Oh wow.
And then there's like 40 high cube is like a 65 cubic meters. So three different sizes are like the most. Well, there are many other sizes of a container, but these three sizes are the most common ones. You know, like 20 feet container, 40 feet, and 40 high cube. Those are the most common sizes used for shipping cargo.
Okay.
So this is my idea of setting up the time to talk, to a time to talk and discuss about, to start the negotiation.
Right. So you would start off right away by using those negotiation strategies, like already right away bring up the volume discounts, the payment structures, and the possibility of the long-term agreement. You would start your first time talking with those already.
Well, if I already did the research in the market, you know, and I checked the price, and with many other suppliers, and also I did I went which am I call this I went retracted the price, you know, from the price from the store, or retail price in Canada to the price in the port of China. I have already a price, you know, I know the price. If the price that he is giving me is good, it's acceptable, I don't need to get a lower price, you know.
Right,
If
okay.
the first price that he is giving me is giving me a window, you know, for me to increase my my profit, you know, or my the margin of profit, so I don't need to press him more, right? Because I need to think that is he's a client that, or a supplier that doesn't like to play, you know, give and take, and maybe he will anyway do not go that much. But if I am a killer, maybe I will probably try to still get a little bit, but I know that I cannot push too hard, because then I will put in risk the quality of the goods, right?
Right.
Or maybe the quality of the goods is not so good already, so I have to get um, the samples and do the whole thing that I have to do, right? To check, to verify the quality, you know?
Yes. Right. It's kind of incorporating the stuff from the previous modules too.
Yes. But it's if it all depends. Every time it'll be different, you know, different. But still, for instance, he give you the according to him, he give you the lowest price, right? And we go back to the same that you are only quoting 100 pieces. It all depends. It all depends on the scenario that you're playing in, right? Or on the in the situation. If he give you a price only for 100 pieces and that is the lowest price that you found in the according to your calculations and everything, that is a reasonable price, then for sure if you buy him 10,000 pieces, he must give you a better price, you know?
Right. Of course, if you buy a larger amount, he's going to be willing to give you a lower price.
Then you still have to negotiate even if the price was good. But if you buy more, he can give you a better price, you know?
Yeah, and he won't be sacrificing the quality because it's for a real reason that he's giving you the lower price, not just because you're like forcing him, but because you're
Exactly.
buying a larger quantity.
Exactly. Exactly. And you have all the basically, and you have like all the tools and you have all the evidence and all the research backing you up, you know?
Yeah, and
You
you
will
can even
be
show him. You can
you
even
will be
show him.
negotiating facts, you know?
Yeah, and you can tell him some of this too, like, oh well, I've gotten quoted these prices at 4 different factories, and this is the highest price I've got quoted. So, can you tell me why your price is higher?
Exactly. And it always work. And he will actually sometimes they will recalculate and check again and see why it's higher and adjust their price to make it work, you know?
And maybe there's a real reason. He's like, oh well, the reason this is the most expensive one is because we have this extra feature. And you can say, well, okay, I don't care about that feature. So how about you
Yes.
remove that feature and just lower the price?
Exactly. If you really don't care for that feature, if that feature, then yes, you can do that. Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways you can lower the price.
Yes.
And yeah, but the worst way to lower the price is just to force them to a price that's too low, because then yeah, it's just not going to be a good relationship, and you run the risk of maybe they use lower quality materials or just something like that. So you should always try to do it in a way that benefits both people or is like at least fair,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah, because the best way is to find a solution that both people win.
Yes, and you always need to find a win-win situation, you know. And as long as you keep that in mind, and you are, which I might call this, you are a person that looking for the well-being of both parties, you know, you're gonna be okay, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And it's actually probably better because yeah, you'll be able to understand them more, and you'll understand like where they're coming from and their mentality too. So it's easier to negotiate with them probably if you can understand them and not just think like, oh, I want to get the lowest price for myself. It's
Yes,
better to understand them more.
yes, exactly. Yes, and then I got these questions and answers.
Okay, let's do it.
The first question is why is researching market prices important in negotiations?
Okay. I think it's important to research the market prices. Like I think in every step, like not just negotiations, but also the other modules, like uh for creating your own business plan and for the red flags and for everything. Like you need to research the market prices. Um, but yeah, you should just know the market prices. Like you can be more confident when you talk about it, and you also just need to know these numbers. I think not just for negotiating, but for everything, but specifically for negotiating because then you can talk to different suppliers and know like what price you're looking for and create like kind of like a budget. Um, and and know like, okay, is this a good price? Is this too expensive? Is this too cheap? If it's cheap, why is it cheap? If it's expensive, why is it expensive? Maybe it's expensive, like we said, for a real reason. Like maybe it's expensive because it has some extra features, or maybe it's expensive just because they expect you to, like we talked about in the other modules, like it's more expensive because they expect you to negotiate for a lower price. So
Yes,
you should yeah, so you should know why is this expensive? Is this expensive for a real reason or just because they expect me to negotiate it? Why is it so cheap? Is this cheap uh because there's something that's okay, like it's just missing a feature that I don't care about, or is it cheap because it's bad quality or whatever? And then yeah, it's just good. It's just good to know the market prices because it makes you more confident also, and um yeah, you'll be able to negotiate a lot more, like you said, like if the supplier knows that you're well informed, about this industry and about this product, then like they will treat you with more respect, and yeah, they probably will give you a more fair price if it's obvious that the product well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, when you were saying about the researching, yes, you are doing research even before you get to this point, because before, remember, you are verifying the supplier, you are researching the companies because you are filtering to know which company you will start talking to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when you get to this point, you is when you have to do one more research, you know. But now it's about the prices that are there in the market, right?
Yeah.
Or actually, it's backing up one research to the other, right? Because when you are doing the research of the supplier, like you said, for the red flags and to make sure that it's a reliable supplier and all that, well, you are also checking the prices there, right?
Um, yes, yes. And so this is gonna be the last time you check, I guess, right?
I guess. Well, at least now, by the when you get to this point, you already know, you already have some research done, and you know the prices, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is, what is one advantage of negotiating payment terms?
One advantage, I guess it just improves the cash flow management, um, by spreading out payments over time. Yeah, like every company, we talked about this. I think last week too. Like, most companies are gonna be like playing with their cash flow a lot and like kind of stretching it out a lot. So, you should figure out what kind of cash flow your company has right now or will have in the future, and try to negotiate for payments over time that's like best suited for your company. And even um you can use it if for example your company doesn't have super tight cash flow and maybe you have a lot of liquidity and you have a lot of money, then but the other company, the supplier, that's a big deal for them. They really want a lot of upfront payment. Perhaps you could use that as a negotiation tool and say, well, give me slightly lower price and I can give you like 60% upfront or whatever, because that's important to you, but it's not important to me. But yeah, the main thing is just to manage your own cash flow. So you should just negotiate for payment times that are best suited for your cash flow situation.
Yeah, your answer is perfect. Very good. Okay, now how can long-term commitments benefit negotiations?
Yeah, it's like the example, like the buying one versus buying 10,000, and it's kind of like the extreme one, the extreme version of that, where it's like they tell you the price, they make like 10 cents on a dollar, and you say you'll buy 100 units for $1, so then they're making $10. But then if you buy 10,000 units, then they'll make $1,000. But since they were originally only making $10, you can probably negotiate for a lower price where maybe they only make like 7 cents or something, because 7 cents from 10,000, 7% of 10,000 is still like $700. So maybe they'll be more willing to go at a lower price because you know they'll see, well, either this deal I make $700 or I make $10. Uh, and then to scale it up to the long term benefits, it's like kind of there's the same thing, but it's like going to be even bigger, like a 1 million units or something.
Yes.
Uh, where yeah, it's like the win-win situation where like every business wants to, like, I think most businesses will want to have those contracts where it's like long term business, guaranteed cash flow over the next like X years, X amount of years. And then it benefits them because they can also use that contract maybe as like collateral, or use it to get some loans or something like that. Whatever the situation is. But yeah, they'll want to they will like that. They will like to have some guaranteed cash flow, and then also it's good for you because you'll get a lower price. So yeah, just a win-win situation again. Back to that.
Yes, and just like be careful, like just on the price, just be careful not to press down too much, because remember, you don't want to put in risk the quality of your goods, right?
Yeah.
Because they will agree. I'm telling you, finally they probably will not, many of them will not let you go. They want you to buy. and they will find a way to make it, and they still don't want to lose money. Nobody wants to lose money, you know. It's okay
Yes.
to make little money of a lot of quantities or a big volume, but to lose a little money from a big volume is bad, because then becomes a lot, losing a lot of money, right?
Right, right. Yeah, you should not push too hard. That's something I think that's one of the big things I learned this module so far is like because everybody wants to push, I guess. And you said a lot of people when you talk to them when they're like finding suppliers or whatever, they just want to push the supplier as much as they can. But that's I guess kind of a rookie mistake. I don't know because I would definitely probably do that. I would probably make that mistake in the future. Like I just try to push too much. But yeah, you're saying it's very risky to do that because you don't want to sacrifice the quality.
Yes, exactly. And I give you one very simple example. Like, if you, I don't know if you heard in Canada or in US, a lot of people they think very bad about Chinese products. Now they, oh, those Chinese, oh, the quality is very bad, you know. But it's not actually pretty much the Chinese. Well, Chinese suppliers are changing now. You know, many of them they say, well, cannot accept that price. You know, but back in the day they were, oh, okay, yeah, okay, we'll make it. What's the price? No, this price. Okay, we'll do it. Even if they were like just changing the raw materials to make it of a low quality, and then that created a bad, very bad reputation of the Chinese products that everybody were saying that they were of bad quality. But the fact is that the buyers made it like that because they were pushing so much on the price.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. I never knew that before.
You never
Huh.
heard like in Canada, many people say, "Oh, it's Chinese. Maybe the quality is not very good."
Yeah, no, I heard that. I definitely heard that before. It's like, something a lot of people will say, but I never knew that that's how it started, that it was because people were always pushing suppliers so much and then the suppliers they used to be like, "Okay, sure. Yeah, we can do that price. We can do that price." But it's only because they just they substitute the raw materials. So then it creates this situation where a lot of the products are really low quality, and people think it's because things made in China are low quality, but actually it's because the buyers just wanted such low prices, and then that's what they get for such low prices, of course.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, and then the fourth one is why it's important to maintain professionalism in negotiations.
Yeah, this goes back to the other modules. But yeah, like you're gonna be watching them, like keeping track of how they communicate with you, if it's timely, if it's professional, um, and they will do the exact same thing to you, right? And um, like if they respond in a timely manner, you'll trust them more. If they take like so long to respond, like a week to respond every time, then you'll be concerned, like in case some problems arise. And same thing for you. Like if you always take like 1 week or 3 days to answer every email they send, then maybe they won't feel confident or comfortable working with you, because maybe there will be a problem that comes up and they don't feel confident that you'll answer them in time to solve it.
Exactly. Yes, that is right. And that is right. And the last one, I think is the last one. What is a practical way to improve negotiation skills?
Okay, so I see here you wrote engage in role playing exercises to simulate real negotiation scenarios. Yeah, that's one really good way. There's probably even like clubs and like some like organizations you can practice with people online or in real life. But also I think that you can like read books, watch some videos, like watch the video we're making right now. It will benefit some people. There's many ways, but like reading books, watching videos about negotiating, reading books about negotiating, and then like doing the role plays like we're gonna do next week, or yeah, with your friend. You can do it with your friends, or there's definitely some clubs or some organizations, even in China or in America, like negotiating or business role play or something like that. Um,
Or put it on practice? That could also work, you know?
yeah, or just do it yourself. Yeah, or just do it, and then you could just do it a couple times and never like just do it to see like how does it go. Like, oh, I want to see, can I get this price? And you never, no one's gonna force you to go through and buy everything, but you can just do it a couple times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Just do it. Exactly. That'll be also good. Just do it and do maybe you will not buy it, but you will negotiate all the way, you know, with a supplier and see where you get. But if
Yep.
you will know if you are not prepared with the prices, you didn't research, you are not ready with facts. Maybe he will very quick stop answering you, because no, he doesn't know. You don't know. You're only wasting my time, and I'm working. You know what I'm saying? But if you are negotiating with facts and you have you know what you're talking about, he will pay attention to you, even if it is in a real scenario. You know what I'm saying? With a real supplier.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, you can just do it with a couple different suppliers, a couple different goods to practice, and even practice doing the research, the red flags, like practice doing everything. And then at the end, you can say, okay, sorry, something came up with my business. I'm no longer interested. And just do that like 5 times or 10 times until you get really good at negotiating price.
Yes, basically that's right. And yeah, this is basically what I had prepared. What is the most well, this is the way I think or this is the way I write the emails, Um, but then of course everybody has a different way to do it, or you think, oh, some people is more direct, or some people don't use like dear Mr. Lee, let's go Mr. Lee directly, and don't go too much, writing and just go directly, It depends on people. I think you can also do that. What is important here is the techniques, the three different techniques that you have is the request volume discounts if you are buying large amounts, to negotiate that, and to negotiate favorable payment terms also is a must you should do, and offer long-term commitments to get a better price and better agreements, or better deals, with the suppliers.
Yeah, those are the three main ones we talked about today. There's
Yes,
probably a couple
exactly.
others too, right? But these are like, I guess, the most common ones, you'd say.
Yes, exactly. There are some others, but these are like the most common ones. Yes, that you use. Are people? They are basically, the supplier will be expecting you to to talk about this.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, my friend, and this is it. This is the video this is the information that I have prepared for you. I hope it's good for you. And then we'll leave the role play for next video. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, just feel free to send it to me whenever you get a chance. I'll look at the role play details and I'll do the research this week. And then next week when we meet, we can do the role play maybe for like half an hour, 20 minutes or whatever time you think it will take.
Okay, done. We'll do that. Thank you very much, and continue having a very good evening.
Thank you, Charlie. I'll see you next
See
Saturday.
you next Saturday. Bye bye.
Bye bye.